How you doing, everyone? I'm Peter from the Sharpening Shack. So Andrew has reached out and told me that a few of you are interested in learning how to sharpen your knives and keep your knife sharp. What I'll do is run you through a few little simple techniques that hopefully will help you keep those knives sharp. So these are what's called Japanese whetstones or water stones. They come in two different types. There is soaking stones and there is what's known as splash and go stones. The difference is, one, you have to soak in water first till all the bubbles disappear, and the other is you can just splash it with water. Here we have a 400 stone, a 1000 grit stone, 3000 grit stone, 5000 grit stone, and a 10,000 grit stone. But today we're only going to focus on the 1000 grit stone and the 3000 grit stone. And this is something that you probably all have rattling around your drawer. This is what's called a honing rod. This does not sharpen this. This only hones an already sharp edge. So if you go on Amazon, you can buy them separate, or you can buy a combi stone, which will be stuck together like that. One side will have 1000, the other side will have 3000. You can get them really inexpensive off Amazon for 17, 18 pounds. So some on Amazon you'll get will be soaking stones. You have to place them in a little tub of water for maybe half an hour before you start. You'll see all the bubbles will start to come out of the stone. So some of the little deals you can get on Amazon, the stones come with a little angle guide that you clip on here. That just helps you keep the angle on the stone, which is the most important process, is keeping that angle all the way through. So what you can use if you don't have the wee guide is simply a 1 pound, and that will help you just find your angle so your knife's not wobbling about the place. So we're starting on the 1000 side. You have certain sections of your knife: tip, the belly, and the heel. Your tip of your knife, I always use the front and the back from the tip, just so don't, after a while your stone will start to bow and you'll need to either replace it or flatten it down. So just doing it here and here just means you're not just wearing out the centre all the time. The tip just raises ever so slightly for the tip and go back and forward, putting pressure on the pushing stroke and just the weight of the knife on the stroke that's coming towards you. So push, back, push, back, push, back, push, back. That's for the tip. And what I have to say as well, there's no one clear way to do your knife. Whatever works for you. There's no one set way. You can watch videos all day long, but it's whatever you're comfortable with is what's right for you. So we'll start with the sections. We have the tip. Up, back. Sorry if I'm going too fast for you. So just find your angle. Take your time. That's your tip. Then we'll go to the belly, which you can then move down to your angle with your 1 pound. Find your angle, just remove your pound, and again pressure on away from you, the weight of the knife just forward, pressure away from you, the weight of the knife towards you. You don't want to put pressure on the way forward because you're going to be digging into the stone, and also you could slip and hit here. So backwards, down, backwards, down, backwards, down. Then we'll move on to the heel. Your grip as if you were chopping food. Pressure of your thumb on here. 3 fingers, just to spread the weight onto the stone. Pressure, back, pressure, back, pressure, back, pressure, back. So every now and again, just give it a wee wipe and just check your edge is even on each spot and you're putting the right amount of pressure on each spot. You'll be able to see clearly where your edges develop. Another technique that some of you might be comfortable with will be the one stroke. You don't move in stages. So start off with your tip here, the base, and use the whole stone and go right up the top. Again, pressure away from you, keeping your angle, which is the most important bit, an even angle all the way up the blade. So tip, again slowly, pressure up to the top, pressure away, and after a while you'll find yourself developing a wee technique and developing the muscle memory that will keep that angle and keep the pressure the same the whole way up the blade. So now we're going to move on to the other side. What you'll find, if you feel the knife on the other side that you're just about to do, it'll feel rough. You'll feel a little edge bent over. This is called a burr. So what we're going to do now is balance this out on this side so that the burr will bend over to that way. You'll be able to feel it again on this side. You should be able to feel nothing here on the side that you just done. And you'll feel a little wire edge on this new side that you haven't done yet. We're going to turn the knife over and move on to this side. You can get your pound again at the back. You'll be able to get your angle, what you're comfortable with. So it's different this time. You want the pressure of the knife coming towards you because this isn't your edge, this is the back of your knife. So pressure, no pressure, pressure, no pressure, pressure, no pressure. And then you can move along the knife. So down to the belly, pressure, no pressure. And then at this stage you'll find you have to turn the knife straight with the stone because your handle will be in the way if you keep that sort of angle. So you want to start at the top, pressure, weight of the knife on the way up, pressure, weight of the knife on the way up, pressure, weight of the knife on the way up. So then I'm going to show you a technique that just uses the whole stone and one stroke of the blade. Quite tricky to master, but some people find it easier. So, base of the knife at this corner, and we're going to use a whole sweeping motion right up the whole blade. You pinch grip like you're chopping. This finger is going to put pressure on the base of the knife, the heel, and then your other hand, just put your pressure on. This is just for steadying, so you don't need any sort of weight on this or hold it tight, just steady it, and this is just going to distribute the weight on the stone. So sweep and lift it ever so slightly as you come to this corner. So find this burr that I was talking about, the little wire edge that's going to bend over to the other side of the knife. And that's an indication that it's time to move over again to the next side. So again, take your time. You're looking for that little wire edge, and trust me, it will come. So that's that side done. You can feel a little tiny wire edge. Doesn't have to be major, just enough. That's time to move back to the side that started on. So it's kind of different now. I'm going to count down from 30, and what that does is I'm going to do 30 on this side and 30 on this side. It just means that your edge should be the same on each side. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and so on to 30. So after you've done your 30 on that first side, you'll find your stone might be covered in little particles of stone, particles of metal. It's called a slur. Just get all that off, wipe it off. You'll find your little wire edge should be really pronounced. You'll be able to feel it really well now on that side and not on that side. So after you've done it on your other side, what happens is it'll flip back over to here. Again, if you're using the 3-stage method, if that's more comfortable for you, you want to do 30, 30 in the middle, 30 on the heel, just to keep your sections even. Because it's more comfortable for me, the sweeping technique. So again, 1, 2, 3, and so on to 30. You'll be able to feel it back on here. What we're now going to do is go down to 25. So you count 1, 2, 3, and so on till 25. On the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on to 25. So after the 25, what I do is go down to 20 each side. So you'll do 20 each side, 20, then I move down to 15, so 15 strokes. Now you find your stone is getting dry, stick it back in the water, a few minutes, back up, or if it's a splash and go like these ones, just literally splash it off water, keep it nice and wet. You'll go 25, 20, 15, then down to 10. So whenever you get to 10, you'll do your 10 strokes, and then after that I take it down to 2, so I go 10, 8, 6, 4, I'll show you, go. And you'll find all the while your burr after each one, your wee wire edge is moving left to right. Then we go down to 6. Just checking every time where your little wire edge is. What I like to do when I get to 4 is a stage of 4 about 4 times. So, and then we're down to 2. I like to do 2 about 8 times, sir. You'll notice your edge should be nice and even all the way up. Just check it with your hand. I'm just flicking it. I'm not rubbing my finger off. I'm literally just flicking it with my hand. And you'll feel it grabbing into your skin, but it won't cut you. Unless you go like that, obviously it'll cut you. So now what we're going to do is, we're just going to strop it lightly. So 1, 1. I find if you just zone out here, you can just do it as many times as you want. What we're doing is just only little metal fragments of the last wee process. We're just going to get rid of them. Just checking from the heel right up to the tip. And for your everyday use, this 1000 is going to be enough. This is going to be fine for just keep on top of it. A couple of strokes. You don't have to do from the 30 right down. Just a few strokes. Once you've already established your edge every day, or when just before you're about to cook, every other day maybe. Then we're going to move on to the 3000, so that most of the stones you'll get will actually be 4000. The combi stones you'll get on Amazon will have a 4000 side. This is a 3000 side, so that's not too much different. It should come with a little non-slip base. Well, these don't, that's why I have to have this thing. So again, one side, I'm just gonna, if you lay past it, you'll notice there's just skates off it. There's not much resistance. So be very careful. Pressure on the way away from you on that side. And you notice it loading up. It's just taking microscopic pieces of metal off your knife. You've already established your edge with the one stone. You're just honing it now. You're kind of making it a lot more sleek. And you're not looking for a wee burr, you're just looking to polish that edge nice and clean. You'll notice it in the light. And we'll move over to here. You don't have to go mental, you can just forward and back a few times, lifting your edge just as you get to the tip here. So it goes all the way. I lift it slightly just so it goes all the way to the tip. If you keep it at the same angle, you'll miss the tip. Tip is not touching the stone at all. So no pressure, just the weight of the knife. The weight of the knife for this one, you're just cleaning that edge up. We've already established our edge and the geometry of the edge of it. So again, forward and back, forward and back. So basically that's it. Process is done. You can, if you wish to go further up the stones, you can go up. So next stage, what I do, I go up to a 5,000, up from the 3,000. What this is going to do is just polish your edge, give it a nice mirrored finish. Same process. Don't want to do anything different, no pressure. You're just going to get a lovely polished edge. No pressure. What I will say, the more you go up the grits, the more expensive the stones get. And you'll hear it's kind of like glass at 5,000, so just your knife will just skate off it. So no pressure, don't be going fast, because your knife will lose control and your knife will flick away. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll just show you just so you don't think I'm cheating. If any is follow my page as well, you know I stand do this quite a lot. Quite satisfying when you realise, oh God, it's actually dinner time. So then just a wee bit of aftercare for the knife at home, your everyday uses for it. You'll have one of these. A lot of people have these, you get them in the set, maybe when you get married or something. Again, same angle that you had on your stone. This is a honing rod. This is going to keep your already sharp knife with the edge that you created. This is going to keep it sharp, so you don't have to keep running for your stone and soaking it all the time. So hold it in this hand, keeping your fingers behind the wee guard. Knife in the other hand. What I do, you'll find there's different ways of doing it. Again, slow, take your time, master it first before you think you're going around it. So the heel of the knife at the top, this is what I do. Simply one side, keeping that angle, drawing it down towards the handle, tip off, heel down to the tip, heel down to the tip, heel down to the tip. Literally only want a couple of passes because your knife will be already sharp for what you've done there. You find people going mad, going mental. Speed doesn't do anything with it. It hinders it of anything, so that'll just keep your knife, keep it nice and sharp. Okay, so hopefully that works out for you. See you later. Forgot to mention, please don't put it in the dishwasher. Wash it by hand, dry it off, put it away. Don't put it in the dishwasher, things will hit off it and they'll wreck your hard work. Okay? Cheers.